everyone, and welcome to TTSL. We are here for Season 1, Round 6 at the Hungary. Not better known to you and me as Magna Nadadech. That is the track we are at tonight, the Hungary, of course. And I am James Head, flying solo for the first race. Malc will be aiming to join me for the second race, so we will be seeing him around for the second race, and hopefully he will be joining into the stream as well before that. Obviously we are here at the Hungary, but I just want to take this time to go through what happened last week in Britain. It was Jeffrey who took race 1, with Maximus and Lord Holton finishing 2nd and 3rd. Maximus taking race 2, with Hades and Mays picking up a very rare podium, his first podium position in a long time here in on TTTV, I should say. Looking at the winners of the races this season, we've only had 4 different winners of each race. We've got Alex, Hades, Jeffrey and Maximus. They have all won races this season, and coming into tonight, well, it couldn't be any closer really up top. Jeffrey has got a bit more of a cushion now. He's 14 points clear at the top of the standings from Hades in 2nd on 109, tied actually with Maximus on 109 points for 2nd position. Lord Holton is in 4th on 108, with Alex in 5th on 98. So by my reckoning, that is 35 points separating the top, 25 points, sorry, separating the top 5 out on track. Mays in 6th on 86, with Billy in 7th on 85, Mashiro in 8th on 74. Then there's a bit of a breakdown to regular George on 42, and Charlie filling in 10th place in the McLaren on 40 points. The rest of the grid is as follows: Shimi on 38, with Vax Viking on 34, Atlas Copa on 27, Conti on 16, Passels on 14, and S. Graham on 6, Pariah and Tom yet to score points this season. Constructor standings, Haas currently leading the way by a comfortable 41 point margin. They're ahead of Alfa Romeo on 142 points in 2nd, Haas on 183, Red Bull in 3rd on 137, so only 5 points behind Alfa Romeo, with Racing Point in 4th on 124, McLaren in 5th on 113, Mercedes in 6th on 109, with Ferrari in 7th on 92, Williams in 8th on 61, Renault in 9th on 43, and Toro Rosso picking up the slim pickings 2 points, but I'm sure they'll be able to pick up more points as we come into tonight. Magna Nadadech, a very interesting track indeed, the Hungary. 14 corners out on track, the 2 DRS zones, one down the start-finish straight down towards turn 1, and then one down the hill into turn 2. A bit of a weird place, if I've got to be honest, to actually have a DRS zone, but the F1 organiser seems to like it, so there we are. Obviously, looking at some of the track stats that I've been working on, this track was actually created in the middle of 1985. Plan permission was granted. Hungary was meant to be going on the calendar in 86, which they inevitably did, but this, the Hungary, they were going to consider the Neplige Park circuit in Budapest. However, this purpose-built facility was actually favoured in front of that. It was Nelson Piquet that won the first race round here, slithering his Williams around the outside about Ayrton Senna's Lotus to take the lead and to inevitably take the win there as well. Lacquer Straight, it does appear to me that this track does appear to be a bit of a karting track. It is. They do have a purpose-built karting track as well at this track, but this is Grand Prix racing, of course, and it does resemble Monaco with the levels of downforce that the drivers will be actually having here tonight. It should be really interesting to see how the drivers actually apply the power on the straight for sure, and it's a challenge that many of the drivers relish. It's not mainly one of the favourite tracks. It's like a bit of Nutella. You either love this track or you hate this track. I personally, I'm okay with it. I'm a bit 50-50 with this track, if I've got to be honest, but we are here at Hungary and we are qualifying. Do put in your predictions in the comment section for the top 3 within qualifying. Of course, we will only ride on board with one person during qualifying. If that lap obviously goes off, then obviously we'll ride on board with somebody else. Looking at you guys in the comment section, see how you guys are doing tonight. 13 viewers, which is very good to see. Gaming Ollie saying he missed the invite. You can still get in within one shot qualifying. And it has been sent. I've just seen that in the chat as well. Good evening, James. Good to see you again. Good luck to everyone. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. Hope to see you fighting, of course, in the current pole position spot in the championship. Hopefully that will come in. And Gaming Nolly coming in and saying he is into the session, and I'm a really good commentator, so that makes my night a little bit easier now that I'm getting a lot of compliments in the chat. Really means a lot, guys. Thank you very much for keeping in tune. As I say, Malc will be joining me for race 2. I'll keep an eye on his progress. He is running a little late, but he will be coming in the second race. So I will have to go blue screen after the first race and give him a couple of invites to the party. And I'm sure he will be able to join me for race 2 around here at the Hungary ring. So just to give you an update on that. Who are we going to go on board with? Well, it's a complete mystery at this stage. Everyone getting ready and locking in their setups. We are about to get going here for one-shot qualifying at the Hungary ring at Magnar Nadadec. The only pronunciation I can actually make. Atlas Coppo, the Norwegian, is on, we're on board with him, and he's running down towards turn 1. So let's actually go and really delve into this track. Down into turn 1, really nice on the apex, up into third gear, and now down the hill into turn 2, famously where Lewis Hamilton went off a couple of years ago. Atlas Coppo now through turn 3, where Ricciardo went round the outside of the Ferrari back in 2017. Atlas Coppo now coming up towards turn 5. Now up the top of the hill, at the brow of the hill, through the first sector split, it's 27.2, and he's around the mid-pack at this stage. Conti, Pariah, Lord Hulton, Mashiro, all up there early. Atlas Coppo just struggling, doesn't want to get caught on the inside of that curb. Now coming through the chicane. It is a bit of a stop-start track, if I've got to be honest, as the Hungary ring. Now into the flowing left and right sections of turns 8 and 9 out on track. Really attacking that. Maybe a little bit too much. He's right down the back. I have a feeling he might have invalidated. So Atlas Coppo, I think, has had an invalidation there. We'll go on board then with Jeffrey, who is on a lap, and he's fighting out for provisional pole here. Well, he's fighting out for pole position, I should say. Coming around the hairpin at turn 13, just going a bit wide. Hades and Pariah look like they're going to be fighting this out through the final corner now for Jeffrey. Can he get to the line in front? Pariah and Hades, I think, are going to be filling out the first 2 spots, and it's Pariah who takes it. It's a very close qualifying session, though. We'll really delve into everyone who did set laps there. There wasn't any invalidations that I did see, so it looks like everyone has managed to get a lap in of some sort. We'll run you through the standings now, and a 6-10 separating the top 10. That is really impressive indeed. Pariah on top, with the other Norwegian Hades in second position. Jeffrey in third, with Conti in fourth. It's an all Red Bull second row, with Mashiro and Lord Hulton 5th and 6th. Less than 4/10 separating the top 6. Really close qualifying. Kiki in 7th, with Billy in 8th. The 2 Hasses are going to be starting 8th and 9th, with Alex just in behind ahead of Shumi in 10th, Maze in 11th, Charlie in 12th, Max Viking in 13th, Maximus, who won the second race last time out in Silverstone, is in 14th, and I couldn't see the rest of the grid. I think Atlas Coppo was one of the drivers further down the field. But 16 drivers here tonight. It should be a very to see. I've got to be honest, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm not sure if you guys are as much as me, but I love the I'm a bit 50-50 with the track. I'm not gonna beat around the bush about that, but this track has got the quality and has got the stylings of actually producing a really good race. I've seen a really cracking race before around here before in FOL, a league I used to commentate on. 3 drivers constantly fighting out for the lead of the race. Whether we get that tonight, I think we might get even better than that tonight. Hopefully. I'm putting the expectations high. I want the results out on track. Pole position for Pariah. Yeah, Pariah obviously coming in and saying that he listens to me while driving. Do not listen to me while driving. Honestly, I'm such an off-putting person at times. Do not listen to me. Turn off your device, and I'm assuring you that you will have a better connection as well. I trust you on that. But thank you very much anyways. Top 10 on a set of soft compound of tyres. Pariah obviously leading off on the formation lap in the soon-to-be named AlphaTauri team. Yes, they are changing their name in F1 2020 for this season ahead. Pariah, Hades and Jeffrey are currently in the top 3. Obviously top 10, as I say, soft compound of tyres. There's a bit of a mix in the strategy. You can tend to go hards actually from lap 3 towards the end of the race. Obviously this is only a 25% race, so one stop strategies will be the order of the day for these guys. Looking down the rest of the grid, Maximus and Pasels, the only ones to be going on a fresh set of softs. I reiterate, fresh set of softs, because the top 10 have qualified on that compound of tyre within qualifying. And the medium runners are Maze, Charlie, Vax Viking and Atlas Colpo, starting 11th, 12th, 13th and 15th respectively. They're going on a set of mediums, so you should see them pitting in maybe between lap 8 and 10. For the soft runners, I'll be expecting from about 6 to 8, I would think, for the soft runners. 12 laps on the mediums are quite easy around here. I think they drop off at about 3% per lap. 3-4% per lap around here. It's about 5% for the softs if you are really blistering the tyres through here. It is a really difficult track to actually get the tyre management, and we should see a lot of good racing action out on track. I'm just going to take a quick drink before we begin. And before anyone asks, it's cloudy lemonade with a lot of ice, because I'm still suffering from the flu a little bit, which is fantastic. But I'm here, and I'm going to be commentating all the action for you guys, of course. For 18 laps await the drivers here at the Hungary ring for TTSL. Season 1, round 6 about to begin, and the 5 red lights are about to go out here, out on track at the Hungary ring. Light down and away we go. What are the starts like? Looks like Hades has got a better start than Pariah off the line, as we now flick out towards the rider out camber, and Pariah will lead the way down towards turn 1. Hades, Jeffrey trying to lunge it up the inside. Looks like everyone's keeping it clean. Looks like Maximus was making up a couple of positions further down the field. All clean at the back. Oh, Conti is round. There's been something caught up in that. Conti is round and he's out of the race. I'm not sure if he's lost out at the exit of turn 1. Lord Hulton and Kiki are going side by side. Through turn 4 they go, and Kiki gets around the outside of Lord Hulton. That's fantastic. Billy trying to get in on the background as well. He's up the inside of Lord Hulton. He gets the move done. I think that was Maximus running wide there. Maximus has ran wide. I'm sure he's spun around as well. So the Brit right down the back of the field. Race 2 winner from Silverstone last time out. Up front though, Pariah leads by 4.5 tenths as they fly through the S section here at Magnar Nadadech towards the end of the middle sector. Through turn 10 and 11, Pariah leads by 5 tenths of a second. From Hades in second, Jeffrey third, Mashiro in fourth, Kiki fifth, Lord Hulton sixth, Billy in seventh, Alex in eighth, Maze in ninth. Best of the medium runners at this stage. Shumi in 10th, Charlie in 11th, Vax Viking in 12th, Pasels in 13th, Atlas Copo and Maximus going side by side, and Maximus has actually pulled off the move. So Maximus is through and he's up into P14. Atlas Copo now down to the back of the field. Conti out of the race early. Must have lost it on the exit of turn 2, I would think. But Pariah and Hades lead the way onto lap 2. And what a first lap it was. Everyone is clean through and no damage picked up, which is good to see. Pariah then leads the way, but is coming under sustained pressure now from the Racing Point in second, the Norwegian. Really delivering some good racing so far. These two are in the same team, YWR Pariah and OWR Hades. They're associated with the two Norwegian teams, of course, from the mini league. And Pariah currently out in front by 5 tenths of a second. And there is really no overtaking opportunities out on track. Was that a spin by Kiki? Yes, on the curb through turn 6, the infamous turn 6. If you get caught on the curve a bit too much there, you will lose the positions, and Kiki has dropped down to the back of the field. Maximus was trying to get past Passelt in the meantime as well for 12th and 13th, not going to get past at that stage. Jeffrey though right on the back of Hades for second place as we approach already the end of lap 2. And Pariah currently leads the way from Hades in second, Jeffrey in third, with Mashiro in fourth. And again, you don't want to be getting caught on that inside curve because it will fling the car around in for a bit of a half spin. Mashiro, the Japanese driver, just getting nearly caught up on the arm cut barrier there on the inside. Now Jeffrey right on the back of Hades. Are we going to see him move down into turn 1? You can really see the dust that is actually coming off Hades' car. Jeffrey trying to lunge it around the outside here into turn 1. Can he get the move done? The traction will always be around the outside of the corner. It's side by side now down the hill towards turn 2. No DRS enabled, so they're going to have to deal with the hardware here. And Jeffrey down the inside through turn 3. He's got the move done, has he? Yes, he has. Jeffrey has got the move done. Just forces Mashiro onto the grass slightly. Hades is slow run out, just forcing Mashiro onto the grass. Nothing he could have done about that. Has rejoined in a very safe manner. Lord Hulton trying to get on the back as well, and Billy making up good progress as well. Let's have a look at the position changes, and plenty of position changes. I've got to say, Maximus has gone through on Pasels. That was down up towards turn 4, I do believe. If I just get my track bar up, yeah, that was down towards turn 4. So Maximus is through, and he's up to 12th position. Mashiro right on the back of Hades as well. Alex and Billy, the two Hasses, will be fighting out. They're flying through in the back of Screenshot. Here comes Mashiro down the inside, having a bit of a half look. Says thank you very much for that one. Doesn't want to doesn't want to get the opportunistic move there. Quite a few running wide in the background. That looks like it was back to sorry, that was Shumi running wide slightly. Vaxvakin just in behind him with Charlie. But at the end of lap 3, Pariah beginning to dominate out in front. It's 1.4 seconds to Jeffrey. They're in a bit of a land of their own really at this stage. Hades in 3rd, Mashiro in 4th, not going to go for the move. Now there's Lord Hulton, but the two Hasses are going side by side. Alex trying to go all the way around the outside of his teammate Billy. These of course are for the constructors as well, and Haas are fighting it out with their two drivers. Alex on the inside line has got the move done, I think, into turn 2. Yes, he should. Billy will just slot in, and Alex is through. He's up to P6. Good racing between both Hasses. That's what we like to see. One-on-one racing within the teams. That is what I like to see. Mays right on the back of this as well. Billy just picking up a 3-second time penalty. Shumi and Charlie trying to get involved as well. But everyone just appearing to be a little bit spaced out now out on track. And that gives us an opportunity to really delve through who has made the most gains early on, as Jeffrey just runs wide there coming through turn 10. It is Mays and Passelt and Alex who have made most gains. 3 position gains respectively for them. 2 position gains for Charlie, Vaxviken and Maximus. The rest in the greens have gained 1 position. That is Jeffrey, Mashiva, Lord Hulton, Widel, Billy and Shumi. Plenty of position gains. That's what we like to see, and plenty of good racing out on track. There's a battle now down the field. Oh, Kiki getting all out of shape coming through turn 14. Atlas Corporal will be up the inside of him. He gives him the benefit of the doubt, and Kiki keeps the position currently. Kiki currently in 14th. Let's have a look down the field. Charlie looks like he's going to get the move done on Shumi down towards turn 1. Looks like he's already got this sign sealed and delivered down the inside. He has, and Charlie is through, and he's up to P9 with a pretty much effortless move there, if I've got to be honest. He's up to 9th. And Atlas Corporal and Kiki battling out in the background of shot as well for 14th and 15th. Kiki trying to get past Atlas Corporal, but good driving by the Norwegian, and there's 2 in the wall. Maximus and Vax Viking are in the wall. Maximus rejoins just about in time. That was a bit of a weird one, if I've got to be honest. Didn't see what happened between both of them. Maximus and Vax Viking almost looked like there was either a bit of lag, or there's been side by side through turn 2 and there's been a bit of a half spin on the grass. That's all I can really imagine it could be. Obviously, we'll have to get the POV footages for that. The stewards, and Mashiro was lost a position to Lord Hulton. Mashiro losing time. Obviously, the softs are beginning to go off now for these drivers. Pariah is still leading 1 pits, as Jeffrey's in 2nd as well. Hades in 3rd. The top 5 are in. Alex is staying out. Billy is coming in. Going on to the next lap. Mays and Charlie are not coming into the pit. Shoot going to go on board with Pariah. He's coming out on a set of medium compounded tyres. That is no surprise. Everyone coming into the pits will probably go on that set of medium compounded tyres. There is Jeffrey just coming out in behind. And it pretty much won't be a race out of the pits, if I'm going to be honest, because everyone will be quite evenly spaced out. Let's focus out on this battle for current 2nd place out on track between Mays and Charlie. This was a battle for 8th and 9th out on track, and the 2 Brits are beginning to do battle. It is the papaya coloured car of McLaren. Charlie, we're on board with, on the back of that red Tifosi of Mays in the Ferrari, of course, picking up that his first podium in an age in TTTV. Mays finishing 3rd in the race too at Silverstone. Really doing a good job that day. There was a lot of contact, if I've got to be honest. Charlie getting caught wide on the curb. We saw that, and unfortunately we were on board with him while that happened. Charlie just getting caught right on the camber of the curb and being thrown off onto the AstroTurf and being thrown completely wide. Charlie, I think, won't be coming into the pits this lap. However, Alex is, from the lead of the race, just picking up on board with that. Quite an evenly spaced out field as we are about 1/3 distance. We're on to lap 7. There's a yellow flag in sector 2, and it's Vax Viking that is round at the infamous turn 6. So Vax Viking round at turn 5, sorry, not turn 6, turn 5 he is round at. Alex and Passelt are into the pits. They're trying to board them with Hades, who's trying to get onto the back of Jeffrey. So I take a lovely drink of my cloudy lemonade. Hades right on the back of Jeffrey, and you can really see how close Hades is beginning to get going within the DRS. The straight down the hill into turn 2. Not quite close enough. The two Hasses are side by side though in the meantime, as I mistake my POV for a little bit. Billy ran the outside of Alex. Fair play to him. Alex might have just granted him that one with him being on slightly warmer tyres. Billy though ran the outside with a clean move. Right on the outside of turn 2, that was maybe the easiest move you might see all night. Billy up to P10, passing his teammate. Of course, the top 4 still yet to pit. Mays in front by 8/10 of a second out on track. Let's go back on board with Hades, and we'll delve into what we were saying about him. He just looks like he's losing the time through the corners. On the straight, he looks pretty strong. He has got to get onto the back of Jeffrey. Of course, Pariah ahead won't be coming back to Jeffrey quite likely. Jeffrey will be trying to edge into that gap. Pariah will be, at the minute, just fighting really to hold on. Maximus is into the pits, I do believe. He didn't even ride there, was Maximus. Or was that Pariah going to shot? I saw 2 cars at once. Maximus is coming into the pits in the Mercedes. And fastest laps galore. Hades has set the new fastest lap of the race with a 19.5, and getting close to the back of Jeffrey once again. Down the straight, he's really quick. Through the corners, might be lacking a little bit in his setup, but Jeffrey and Hades are going to do battle. This is for the net battle for second currently out on track. Machine beginning to lose a little bit of time with Hades is pushing on the ERS. 63% of ERS for Hades, 46% for Jeffrey. You can probably do the math with that one, but it's about 17% advantage for Hades on the ERS in terms of Jeffrey in front of him. And it looks like Pariah is just beginning to try and edge out that gap a little bit. It's 1.9 seconds coming through the chicane, and Jeffrey may be just beginning to hold the guys behind up. There's a little bit of corner cut there from Lord Holton, who cut the corner. Might have picked up a warning. Hades runs very wide through there, as does Mashiro. No, sorry, Lord Holton. That was flying through. Charlie, however, is round. Charlie is round. He's lost it off the curb again, similar to what we rode on board with. So he's round there at turn, forgive me, turn 11 that was, at the exit of turn 11. So unfortunately for Charlie, that might be a top 10 finish going out of the window for him. Maximus, Vax Viking and Passelt are obviously all going to catch as a result of Charlie spinning. As Hades right on the back of Jeffrey once again. We're on lap 9 out of 18. We are halfway through here at the Hungaroring. And this is only race 1, remember. It's Mays who leads the way from Atlas Coppo in second. Pariah in third with Jeffrey in fourth. Boss, you're riding on board with Hades, who is on the back of Jeffrey, trying desperately to find somewhere past. Of course, Hungaroring, not really a track for overtaking apart from down the start finish straight, and of course round the outside of turn 2, which we've seen a couple of times already tonight. Hades is just going to try and exploit a bit of a weakness in Jeffrey, and maybe that if he forces him to the inside on the curb at turn 5, it might just begin to force him into a bit of a mistake. Speaking of a bit of a mistake, Mashiro was all out of shape coming out of the chicane there through 6 and 7. Goodness me, how he's kept that car going is beyond me. We saw that just in the background of shot. Might have not been to you guys on the naked eye in the viewing stream, but it certainly was to me as the commentator. Good spot by me there, if I'm going to say so myself. Bashiro getting caught on the curb and making a really bad mistake, and he's lost 7/10 of a second, and he was on the back of Hades and nearly aiming for an overtake. Speaking of aiming for an overtake, Kiki is right on the back of Shumi. This is the 10th and 11th out on track. The Williams and the Renault about to get going. This is for the final point scoring position out on track as well. Nobody getting close enough down into turn 1. Hades is about 3.5 tenths off Jeffrey. Here comes Key. Has he got the key to unlock 10th position? Key is down the inside, will defend the position down the inside, and it's easy as you like. The Brit is through on the Norwegian. Easy as you like. Kiki up to P10. He unlocks the position, and he's up to that final point scoring position. Hopefully he can remain there, and he can now focus his attentions on trying to catch Alex, who is 2.7 seconds up the road. Back on board with the battle for fourth with Jeffrey and Hades. The Dutchman and the Norwegian getting going. Pariah also catching Atlas Copel as Schumi is through on Kiki. How on earth has he done that? Literally, I cut off the battle for 2 seconds and they go past each other once again. I completely missed that. I think Schumi might have done it around the outside of turn 5. If he has, fair play. If he hasn't and Kiki's made a mistake, still fair play because he's up into 10th position once again. A lot of battles now beginning to happen. We've got Pariah and Atlas Copel, as I say, for 2nd and 3rd. This is the battle you're on board with currently. Atlas Copel should, I think, have came into the pits that lap to give him the maximum opportunity to try and get a point scoring finish. However, Hades right on the back of Jeffrey in behind. It looks like we're going to get a 2 for 1 down the straight. Pariah trying to go around the outside of Atlas Copel. Hades around the outside of Jeffrey. Pretty much 2 by 2 Noah's Ark. Pariah's got past Atlas Copel easily. And Jeffrey and Hades are side by side. Hades with the switchback. Now onto the inside line. A little bit of bumping and barging onto the curb there. But Hades now on the inside line. Should pull this off. Jeffrey down the inside again. They force each other off. A little bit of banging wheels. But it's still side by side up the hill. Who is going to bring first? Jeffrey round the outside, what a move! Jeffrey round the outside defends the position from Hades. What a defensive masterclass that was. Hades just running onto the grass there. I might have gone high pitch and whatever, I don't care. Jeffrey and Hades, one-on-one action, absolutely sublime. That was sensational between them both. Jeffrey and Hades, give yourself a pat on the back after this race. Honestly, Mashiro now on the back of Hades as well, trying to exploit a bit of a weakness. Lord Hulton is round on the exit of turn 11. Seems to be catching people out that corner tonight. Maze is into the pits. Will Atlas Copel come in as well? No, he's staying out there. But Atlas Copel actually trying to disrupt the front group. Pariah now leads from Atlas Copel in 2nd. Jeffrey 3rd, Hades in 4th. Mashiro in 5th. Maze in for a soft compound of tyres. Looking down into turn 1, Mashiro not close enough on the back of Hades. But maybe a 4-way battle beginning to get going. And for purposes only, from the leader to 5th, it is 3 seconds under. It's about 2.7 seconds between 1st and 5th at this stage. So, no room for error for these drivers out on track. Maze, by the way, has rejoined in P10. Lord Hulton was pitting in behind him. That should give back to Viking then 11th, I would imagine. Jeffrey running out wide, coming through turn 5. Now towards 6 and 7. Atlas Copel is coming through. Maximus has retired out on track. He did come into the pits. Maximus clearly not enjoying himself. He has got another race though to reclaim some points from him. And of course he did take the win out in Silverstone. He has retired from the session, has actually left the session as well. He can come back and join. He did pick up the 2nd race win. If that is motivation to continue, then I don't know what is. But Pariah, 1.5 seconds, beginning to bridge that gap out now to Atlas Copel, Jeffrey, Hades and Mashiro. Atlas Copel still not coming into the pits. Clearly he's got to pit at some point. He's going to come under pressure. He should have pitted that last lap, I think, on lap 12. Charlie has retired from the session as well. That was out on track, I do believe. As we're down into turn 1, Jeffrey and Atlas Copel. Atlas Copel defending well. Jeffrey, though, it's just a matter of time when he's going to get past. And if he's going to get past, is it down the inside of turn 2? No, Atlas Copel nearly chops him off through there. And there is a slowing down from the driver in front. That was Pariah. And there is Charlie's car on the right-hand side of the track. Jeffrey now round the outside onto the inside line. Jeffrey again. This is why he is the championship leader, currently out on track. Jeffrey is pulling off some absolute brilliant racing. Hades and Mashiro, you're surely not going to go 3 wide into the chicane. Goodness me, if that was anything they go by. Hades is trying to get past Atlas Copel. He's probably exclaiming to him, probably trying to get past here. He is probably screaming at his own TV at this point. Hades is trying to get past Atlas Copel for 3rd and 4th, and Mashiro is trying to get involved in this as well. Maze, however, right on the back of Schumi. We'll cut to this battle for now between 9th and 10th. Of course, Maze on a set of soft compound of tyres, Schumi on a set of mediums. You would imagine this will go one way, but it is difficult to predict around this track. We'll go back on board with the battle for 3rd. Looks like Atlas Copel is into the pits. He is. So that now frees Hades and Mashiro to have a battle for 3rd and 4th. But still, we're right on board with Maze, who was on the back of Schumi. And surely down the start-finish straight, he will be quick enough to reclaim that 9th position. The Norwegian will put up a defensive masterclass, you would imagine. But now Maze within the DRS now opening up that down the straight. Atlas Coppa was just about to come out of the pits, I do believe. Mays now around the outside, the Brit on the Norwegian. Schumi takes the inside line, not enough though. Mays has sailed it around the outside of him. Easy as you like for Mays, and he's up to P8. That was simply sublime once again by Mays on a set of soft compound of tyres, clearly getting the move done on Schumi. And that is what we like to see. Nice, clean, competitive racing out on track. And I've got to say, race 1 is certainly living up to the expectations that I certainly wanted for this race. I've got to be honest, this is maybe one of the cleanest races I've seen all season in TTSL. That comes along with. The drivers are listening in to this commentary. Give yourself a pat on the back after race 1, because seriously, there's been some really good moves. Hungary, they're on about scrapping this track. I can't see why. Cannot see why at all. Pariah leads by a second as we are about to start the 4th last lap out on track. It's 1.2 seconds out on track. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream so far. Of course, Malc will be joining me for race 2, so that is not an excuse to tune out. Malc will be coming in with his poise and enthusiasm as per usual to deliver commentary in his own way. Hades and Mashiro though in the meantime for 3rd and 4th. Racing points against the Papaya. Down towards turn 4. Down towards turn 2 even they go, and Hades defending the position quite well from Shivo. Having a look at some of your comments coming through. Good luck to everyone in OWR and YWR, and saying turn 7 is a complete and utter nightmare. Turn 7 honestly is a complete and utter nightmare. I think you might be getting confused with the right-hander at turn 6 this is. Sorry, at turn 5 I should say. Then at the curb on turn 7, this is also a big point out on track where you will really lose the car. However, Kiki right on the back of Alex. This has came from absolutely nothing. Kiki was not close enough to Alex last time around. Oh, has a bit of a slide out the curb on turn 6. Just riding that curb a bit too much will unsettle the car and unsettle the downforce on that car. And if these two aren't careful, there was just a flash of red coming through the screen there. Mace is beginning to catch these guys. 3.1 seconds separate. Honestly, if these two begin to battle quite hard out on track, Alex and Kiki, Maze will be right there towards the end of the race. Lord Hulton has retired, and that is through turn 4. That's on the left-hander at turn 4. That'd be enough to bring out a safety car like TTL F1 yesterday. Probably not. Pariah still leads away by 1.4 seconds, and that gap has actually extended out a little bit for Pariah in the lead. And I've got to say, really good, strong race here as Kiki tries to launch the move down the inside on Alex. Alex has just repaid the favour. Kiki will try and get back in the slipstream. He's down the inside, turning a negative into a positive possibly for Kiki. He unlocks the key and he's through up to P6. Fantastic move that from Kiki. He struggled through the exit of turn 1. He was almost a sitting duck, but to come back and actually get the poise within the DRS to pick up the slipstream again and get that move done, Kiki has pulled off a fantastic move there. Good piece of driving. He's up into P6. Again, just getting caught on the curb, but he is going to be happy with that one. And I am certainly happy with that one, as I'm willing every single driver on here tonight. The action has been simply brilliant out on track. Pariah, 1.3 seconds, just in terms of the gap to the lead. 2.7 seconds separating the top 4 out on track. Penalties may prove to be key. Not bringing in a Kiki pun there. Billy in 5th has picked up a couple of penalties, so we might see some penalty changes further down the field. Now we're on to the penultimate lap of the race. I kind of get my words out. Pariah leads the way by 1.1 seconds from Jeffrey in 2nd. Hades in 3rd. Mashiro trying to have a half lunge down into the inside of turn 1. Not going to pull it off. But the Japanese driver really excelling here out on track. This is how close-knit some of these guys actually are. Jeffrey and Hades coming into tonight. I'll just remind you of the standings coming into tonight. Hades was on 109 points, Jeffrey on 123. Maximus and Lord Hulton both out the race, so they're not going to be featuring. Alex currently in P7. He was on 98, so he'll be getting 104 at this stage. Fastest lap currently will be going to Lord Hulton, who is actually out of the race, so that will not get counted, I do believe, and it's only the top 10 in fact that can get the fastest lap in any of the TT leagues. Pariah though about to start what will be the final lap of the race out in front. 1.2 seconds the gap. There's not really many battles happening out on track. Hades and Mashiro 3rd and 4th. Again, the Norwegian just seems to be exploiting that inside curve a little bit too much, but it's giving them the room to actually feel confident and to get the move. Pariah feels like he hasn't done enough. He's trying to break the toe from Jeffrey. We're on to the final lap now. It's Pariah who leads. Vax Viking is out of the race. Maximus is rejoining back. And again, turn 4 is a bit of a wild one. Vax Viking going off the same point as his teammate there. Pariah leading. Has he done enough out in front? He surely has done. He's got 70% of ERS, for God's sake. Come on, man, use it up. Use it up. What are you doing? Pariah, 60%. He's going to give me a bit of a heart attack at this stage. If he doesn't win this, then it's absolutely beyond me. Jeffrey, Hades and Mashiro, second, third and fourth, are trying to hunt him down, but Pariah now should have the pace to actually end this. He should now begin to pull away. The Norwegian, doing a great job out in front, has really taken the race by the scruff of the neck. Malc has joined. I will give him an invite straight after this race. Maximus has also joined in as well, as we are up again one more driver for tonight. Mashiro running wide there slightly, but Pariah using up the ERS on the final lap of the race. That's why the gap was coming down. He wasn't using any ERS. He was being very cheeky and dominant out in front. Pariah now through the final corner. It's going to be a 5th different winner this season. Pariah takes the win in TTSL. Jeffrey across the line in second. No position changes for the top 3. Mashiro across the line in 4th. He will hold on to that position with Billy's penalties. Kiki, I think, will gain this. Alex, May, Shumi should all gain, I think, on this. Alex across the line in 6th. May's across the line in 7th. Yep, Shumi across the line should be in 8th. Maybe Atlas Cope will get in ahead of Billy as well. He does. Billy finishing off in P10 and Passels will finish in P11. Let me then just go on to a bit of a blue screen and invite my co-commentator. I do apologise in advance for the blue screen, but I will get the invite now out to Malc to join the session. He has joined the lobby, so we'll get him to join in the party and see what he made of race 1. Hopefully he hasn't just literally shot online to get on. But Passels now coming around the final corner. The Belgian hasn't had his race the own way here. The Belgian, in fact, in the medium Commentators, they're around the final corner in that racing point, and Passels now about to come across the line to finish in 11th place and gets, I think that was a 5-second stop goal unserved there for Passels coming across the line. But it is Pariah who takes the win in dominant fashion. Malc has joined me in the commentary box. Malc, did you catch any of that race, and what did you make of it?
I just caught the last bit of that frantic battle there. The top 4 drivers, absolutely unbelievable stuff there. Good evening to everyone. I do apologise for the lateness there. There's so much manic stuff there, but thank you very much for Joe taking care of the first round of it, shall I say. But what a race it was there. And tell us about the start bit. I didn't see much about the start, but I just saw the last bit at the end.
Honestly, the racing, the quality of the overtaking and the racing, the one-on-one battles we had was absolutely unreal out on track. That is what we like to see. Pariah then takes race 1 from Jeffrey in second, Hades in third. So the top 3 actually have a bit of a mix-up there. Pariah obviously starting pole, Jeffrey and Hades just swapping the positions for second and third. Mashiro, strong drive by the Japanese driver in 4th, with Key unlocking himself in 5th position. That is a very bad pun, I know. Alex has finished in 6th, with Mason 7th. I'm going to get a lot of hate now in the comments for that. Shumi in 8th, Atlas Kopo in 9th. Billy with the penalty finishing off in 10th position. 18 seconds worth of penalties. Got to be careful for the second race. Passels as well, finishing in 11th. We had a lot of drivers out. Vax Viking, Lord Hulton, Charlie, Maximus and Conti all out of the race at respective points out on track. Hungary quite unforgiving for those guys, but it was Pariah who took the first race win. And looking at, of course, the points coming into off the end of that first race, how on earth do you think this second race is going to pan out? Because the drivers are now used to the track. How do you feel this race is going to go?
It could go one way or another here, to be honest. It just depends on how the guys are going to capitalise on from that first race itself. But from that point of view there, James, I think the way that the top 3 drivers are going for it as well, I would not be surprised if they're going to go for the same strategy again, because why would you change when you've got a good chance of getting a podium here tonight? Don't you agree?
Yeah, totally. I think once the drivers have got their setup, they see that setup working. Some of them may necessarily actually change their setup with their DNFs in the first race, but Hungary is always going to be an unforgiving track, and the drivers have got to just change up the way they approach the corners, especially the exit of the corners around here. It's so paramount to get the exit, because honestly, if you don't, you're going to end up half spinning or even ending up out of the race, like we saw with some of the guys out on track. Watch out for qualifying though, because first race one-shot qualifying, it was 6/10 separating the top 10. That's how close it was.
Really? Unbelievable stuff here. Here we go. Here we're going to do the actual qualifying here now. James, I'll lay it over to you to carry on from the second round here.
Well, we've still got 30 seconds to go. Let's make some predictions then coming into this second race. Who are you going to go for?
From what I saw from the top three, I reckon... I'll tell you what. I'm going to reckon Haleds, if that's how I pronounce it, sorry. Haleds, Pereira, Jeffrey. Top three.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think it'll be quite close between those three in qualifying, to be honest. We should see a lot of good laps here. I wouldn't rule out Lord Holton for Paul. He was quite good in that first one-shot qualifying. Didn't have the best sort of race, but the Norwegian, I think, could be there to actually forgive himself and have a much better second race. Maximus as well. Watch out for him in qualifying. And we are going to go on board Copo in the Williams once again as we come down toward the lap here of the Magnar Naladec, better known to you and me of course as the Hungaroring. Through turn 1 for Atlas Copo, really attacking through turn 1 if I've got to be honest, picking up a couple of positions. Down the hill now to turn 2, Lewis Hamilton went off there a couple of years ago. Atlas Copo now through turn 2, this is turn 3, then up the hill towards turn 4 and toward the end of the first sector, and it looks like Atlas Copo actually struggling with this lap early, 27.2 through the first sector, but look at how many changes there was to the line up there. Goodness me, I think we've had a few invalidations. Conti, Billy, I think, might have had their laps invalidated. Hades Mashiro Shumi currently towards the top. Billy knows it, he's retired from the session, just doesn't want to afford some penalties being picked up in the race. Atlas Copo then running wide as well. He's in 13th at the minute, you can still make up a lot of time. Misses the apex completely, it's a 55.3. Mashiro, Jeffrey, Lord Holton, who I did say for qualifying could be right up there, he's right up there as well. There's a few changes. Mashiro, Jeffrey, Lord Holton will come on board with that in just a second, but Atlas Copo in the meantime, now round turn 14 at the final corner. He's going to be well off the pace, but we'll see his lap. We should see a 1:16 from the leaders, I think. Mashiro across the line. Oh, it's only by 0.05 of a second. Mashiro takes pole position. It's his first pole position of TTSL, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken in that.
I think you are deadly right there. So that was perfect timing there. Konnichiwa. What a chance there to be pole position there for Mashiro on that in first place. You got Jeffrey in second place. Lord Holton, who you predicted, James, in the top three.
Yeah, good qualifying.
Sorry. Halez is in fourth. Pereira's in fifth. Kiki's in sixth. Shube is in 7th, Maximus is in 8th, Vaz Viking is in 9th, Maze, the Force will be with him in 10th, Alex is in 11th, Charlie 12th, Passal's 13th, Atlas Copo in 14th, Conti 15th, and a wide load Billy in 16th place. So, you've seen the first race, I've just saw the glimpse of the last race. Would you keep the same position as what you saw from the top three, or would you expect differently this time?
I would honestly expect it differently this time, because it's all about taking the performance from the last race to this race for these drivers. Some of them may not necessarily have the consistency, and I'll actually delve into some of from last race, from France to Britain. I'll take Maximus for example. He was 9th in the first race, 3rd in the second race in France, 2nd in Britain in the first race, and then he took the win, obviously, last week. While Lord Holton was 3rd last week in Silverstone in race 1, then finished 12th in race 2. It's all about maintaining that consistency for both races.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not consistency is the key here as well, but with the Hungarian track here, obviously the only DRS straight that you've got is what we're watching now, is the start finishing line straight here, but it's so tricky around some of the majority of the track here. from what I saw as well, from like well, there's two DRSs, sorry, I do apologise, but like I said, that it feels like this DRS is not capable of doing well with the overtakes. It's just the start finishing line straight where you feel more better to do the overtakes. But with this, have you driven around here much in the past?
I've driven around it in time trial about an hour ago, if I've got to be honest. And trust me, you are. My lap was like a 16.5 around here, I think. And it's so hard to actually maintain the consistency on the laps. It is so hard. You either invalidate or you just lose the time through the corners. Top 10 obviously qualifying on a set of soft compound of tyres. Everyone else going for a bit of a mixed strategy. Pascal's Billy on a set of softs. Alex, Charlie, Atlas Copel, Conti on a set of mediums. One stop obviously going to work around here. It's going to be a fascinating race.
Absolutely. I mean, you just never know what to expect back here. I mean, Lord Holton could produce the goods here, could win here, but I would fancy Mashiro to do well here tonight, especially when he had that brilliant qualifying lap as well. And obviously you've got some of the drivers who need to watch out for, like Maximus, Jeffrey as well, Halles as well, Pereira as well, who was just going to the top 3 from last time there. But it just depends on how they can capitalise it and just make sure they don't make any silly bang moments there, like bang and the wing is gone moment there, James.
Yeah, totally agree. Obviously we're seeing the cars now come round to the start-finish line to begin the second race here in TTSL. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the stream so far. It's about to get better though. Malc's in the commentary box with me. We've got 18 laps of the Hungaroring for race 2 here tonight. The 5 red lights are about to go out, if I didn't have a shocking camera angle. 5 red lights then about to go out here at the Hungaroring for race 2 tonight. Lights out and away we go. What are the starts like? Hades getting bogged down off the start by the looks. He could be under pressure from Pariah and Key coming down towards turn 1. It's side by side near Noah's Ark formation. Down into turn 1. Oh, nearly 3 to bed in the background. Pariah just trying to get sandwiched between Lord Holton and Hades. That was. Everyone is wide through turn 1. Is everyone clean through turn 1? It is. Everyone is clean through turn 1. Mashiro leads from Jeffrey second. Lord Holton down the inside. There's a lot of action happening further down the field. Maximus trying to go around the outside of Key. He's going to slot into 7th. There's a lot of action still flitting through. Really clean action though. Alex losing the position to Atlas Copo. Mashiro though has bolted from the start. Oh, there's an absolute massive crash in the background. Jeffrey that was out of the race. So that is the championship leader out of the race. The championship leader is out of the race here at the Hungaroring. It has caused absolute carnage in the background. You had a better view of that than me, Malc. What happened?
I just saw a glimpse of it, but it looked like at turn 4 when you passed the end of the
Mashiro spun from the lead! I don't believe it! Mashiro has spun from the lead of the race! How on earth? This is tempting fate here at the Hungaroring tonight. How on earth that Mashiro has just dropped the back end through turn 11? I was on board with him. He was 2 seconds clear. He had the race pretty much at his mercy. It's all gone, and he's going to be coming into the pits because he's got foot wing damage.
Oh my God!
Oh my
this is
God.
unbelievable! James cannot believe what's happening here. But I tell you what, we might have some ding dong bows here. We got one on Billy here, trying to go into turn 1 here, down straight into turn 2 here with this absolutely frantic stuff here. The Haas driver trying to clash on 2. Hazals here in 7th place here, but this is absolutely manic stuff there. James is still in gobsmack mode here. The 2. I never say anything now tonight. I wish I stopped saying it now. But Maximus is in the top 3 now. What a drive from him. Absolute brilliant drive, James. Yep,
4 seconds separating the top 8. Billy's trying to get on the back of Pascal's. Not going to be overtaking though down into the chicane. It's a very tricky place to overtake there. But that has brought the race a little bit closer together. So what it was seeming like a washing line has now been bunched together into a scrunch, quite literally. Hada is leading the way by 4/10 of a second. Maximus is slow out of turn 11. He dropped the curve. He dropped the car, I think, through turn 11. Nearly did a Mashiro, but Maximus has only lost 1 position. And Kiki, right up into 3rd position, had a really strong first race. There's a lot of position gains from, in fact, everyone in the top 10 has actually gained more than 2 positions. Shumi with only 2 positions gained, but at the end of lap 2, onto lap 3, can you actually write it? Hades leads the way, Pariah in second, Kiki third, Maximus fourth, Shumi fifth, Max Viking in sixth, Pasol seventh, Billy trying to look there, Charlie and Atlas Copo trying to go up the inside. I'm getting mixed up with my Norwegians. Atlas Copo in the Williams, McLaren of Charlie, and there's a spinner in the background. It's Alex. He's dropped it through the exit of turn one. He's got caught in the curb on the outside of turn one. Maze is into the pits as well as a result of front wing damage, I do believe. Hades leads by 6/10 of a second. Can you believe what is going on? Billy's right in the back of Passos.
Oh, this is absolutely frantic stuff here in the second sector here. What is going to happen here tonight? We are still gobsmacked here. James is still unbelievable.
Oh, Billy! Oh, what a move!
What a move! What a move! There for wide load Billy! Unbelievable stuff there! Oh, we are gobsmacked!
Yeah, Passos went wide into the corner. It gave Billy a much better run out of the chicane through turn 7. And he's just absolutely sent it down the inside. Haas obviously top of the constructors, not messing about with that move. Billy up 9 positions from the back of the field. He's up to 7th, and he could possibly, I think, get a podium out of this race. He's absolutely flying as long as he limits that penalties that he picks up. As long as he limits up to 3 or 6 seconds, he could be right in the mix. As now Max Viking is down the inside of Shumi. He lunged it late, but Shumi now on the switchback will get the move done quite cleanly. Max Viking on the outside of the corner, not going to pick it up, but this is similar to what we saw with Key in that one. Turning a negative into a positive again. Max Viking has got the move done. Really similar move to Key in race 1. Key pulled the move off right down the inside at the same point that we saw with Max Viking there. That was great stuff. Billy trying to get around the outside of turn 5 on Shumi. Not going to make that happen. Great racing out on track, and the battle for the lead is separated by only 4/10 of a second. But now the top 4 are getting away.
They are getting away here. James absolutely spot on here. Well, that's 4/18 on the TTSL, and James is still got up here because will Billy make that move? He's trying to move it. We might. Oh, come on!
Oh,
yes!
great move!
Yes!
Shumi saw him coming, but there was nothing he could do about that. Billy up the inside once again, up 10 positions from the back of the field, 10 positions, and he is mincemeating his way through. I'm not sure if he's been possessed by something, but Billy is through and he's up to P6. Absolutely unreal driving.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Here comes Passos.
He's definitely had his Weetabix here tonight. Absolutely frantic stuff here.
Oh, Charlie!
And he's got the golden ticket.
Atlas Copo locked up, I think, down into turn 1, so Charlie made that look pretty simple indeed. And Passos is trying to find a way through Shumi. And there's a battle for the lead as well, because Pariah is right on the back of Hades.
Oh, come on! Come on! This is one hell of a race here. What? I can't believe I just missed the first race here. This is brilliant, brilliant stuff there for the second race here. The comments are probably coming in saying, "What a mad nutter of a commentator I am here." Absolutely manic stuff here. But James, 3/10 on the top 2 now.
Yeah, Pariah right on the back of Hades. He's just going to try and exploit. Oh, Maximus is round in the background, hard into the wall. Maximus recovered the car. He's got the back of the car into the wall. Thank goodness for that. He hasn't lost any front wing damage. No contact with the wall apart from the rear end. Maximus round on the outside of the curb. I saw that right in the background of shot, and now, predictably, we get the pit stops in now. The top 4 are into the pits, as is Shumi as well. So Shumi into the pits, everyone now released. Tell you who could be on a bit of an outsider to actually win this whole thing. Conti is beginning to get into this. Don't rule him out.
I'm not ruling him out here because he's one driver that on his day can be one of the best drivers in the world here. But at the moment here, Wilo Billy is holding on for first place here with 1.5 seconds to go. Oh, Atlas, come on!
Oh, if he can defend this. Charlie's defended that unbelievably well. That again.
Charlie, you definitely got that golden ticket there. Oh, yes, get in, you beauty. Absolutely brilliant move there from Charlie there. James, I'll let you carry on.
Fantastic move by Charlie again. We see that through turn 2. It's always the car that ends up behind getting in front, and Charlie again really exploiting his knowledge of the track. I think he must have been practicing around here, and he certainly had his shredded wheat for sure, because Charlie now right on the back of Parcells for 6/10 of a second for second place. Billy now in the lead of the race. Do you expect him to pit this lap? I think he will be into the pits this lap, and yes he is.
Yes.
So perfect opportunity there. Parcells not pitting though, which is quite interesting. The guys in behind on a set of mediums, they can carry on a bit. Parcells is going to be blistering those tyres out on track.
He'll be slowing down here because look at Charlie here. He's trying to be closer to the first place.
Oh my goodness me.
Come on, Charlie! You can do it, sunshine! You can make the move! Come on!
Yeah, he's not close enough.
Oh, come on! You can do it! You've got that medium tyres in, that kick in with the Charlie here. Absolutely manic stuff here. There's so much miles going on here. Schumi's trying to close in on Wild Billy here for 10th place here. But still, want to try and get back to Conti and Atlas combo here because. James, what are you watching so far?
I'm having a look actually at how the net battle's developing. Billy currently could be landing himself in a top 5 position because he's just came out the pits ahead of Schumi. Hades, Pariah, Key, Vax Viking have all came into the pits. Obviously the guys ahead are going to be pitting in. This could be a really interesting race going forward. Parcells though is under all sorts of pressure from Charlie in front. This is battle for the lead that you are currently on board with. If you're just tuning in, where have you been for the last 45 minutes? Parcells is into the pits from the lead of the race, and Charlie now freed for about an 8/10 gap out in front, getting very close to the arm coat barrier there on the inside. Atlas Copo could come under pressure from Conti, because Conti had a brilliant run out the final corner, trying to break the toe. Charlie, I think, always going to have that move done. Charlie was never going to lose the toe. Vax Viking is now under pressure from Billy, and Billy on a much fresher set of the mediums, beginning to get onto the back for P9 and 10. Oh, and he's going to absolutely send this down the inside. Billy through on Vax Viking, easy as you like. Vax Viking could get the run out, he's not going to be close enough. Billy down the inside, and he's up to P8, and I think I saw Mashiro going round in the background, and Atlas Copo's out of the race. What happens? Through turn 4.
Turn 4, James, that was turn 4. He lost it at turn 4, James. I'm still cannot repeat again. He's lost it at turn 4 there. He's out of the race here, James.
Oh, unfortunate for Atlas Copo, another one that has been caught out by the infamous turn 4. That slight bit of oversteer that you get through the corner, you just apply a bit too much curb, that car is sent spinning round, and that's what we've seen with Atlas Copo. We saw it as well with both Alpha and Males in the first race, out of the race, on different laps I may add, but at the same point out on track. Atlas Copo, where would have he ended up if he didn't? Obviously he would have still had to come into the pits. My voice is going weirdly. Maximus is trying to get on the back of Maze. I will try and continue here. Maximus right on the back of Maze. I'm going to continue for now. I will hand over to you as soon as Maximus will line up the move on Maze, because I think this is going to be a job done for Maximus. Look at how he is just lining up on the inside. He actually gets caught on the curve on the inside. That just prioritises Maze's run a bit further. Maximus now beginning to close up. Is he going to try and lunge it down on the inside into turn 1? I don't think he's close enough. And yeah, he's not going to go for the move. Maximus still in P13. My voice is going. Take over.
Yeah, I'm trying to help James here because he needs to get that drinks down into him here because he's done a fantastic job here with the commentators.
Oh,
Maximus! Oh, what happened to
Pariah's round to turn 4. Pariah's round to turn 4. He smashed this front wing completely off, nearly. Turn 4 again has been caught out. Catching people out this corner.
I was going to say, turn 4's the turn 4 death there for majority of the drivers said tonight, because it's absolutely silly bang. I did say, everything I've said tonight, it's just been a curse for some of the drivers, so I do apologise for Commentators' curse on that one. But, like I said, we got Conti trying to close in on Charlie here, who you said that was the one, an outsider to witness, because Charlie's holding on. Charlie is holding on here for much of this race here. He's doing a fantastic job here. We're on lap 10 of 18 here.
Oh, look at the closing speed.
Conti, come on!
No, I'm not lunging it. Charlie, give him. Charlie did give him the room there, but Conti was never going to be close enough for the move. If anything, you've got to be around 4/10 off, like Billy is on his teammate, flying past down the inside, down into turn 1. Billy, the Brit, is through on Alex. We saw a move very similar to that last race, in fact, and Billy is through, and he's up to Alex, and he's through, and he's up to Alex, and he's through up to P5, as Maximus and Mays are fighting through turn 1 as well. The Mercedes and the Ferrari, haven't we seen this before here at the Hungaroring? Maximus and Mays will defend the position, and Maximus is still defending in 11th position, and Conti and Charlie were battling out, but I think Conti has just made a bit of a mistake through the chicane at turn 7, got caught on the curb. He's lost 7/10 of a second.
So let's see what Conti can do here, but might have a couple of battles going on here, because Mashiro is trying to close in on Shumi now for 8th place here. Mace is still trying to close in on Maximus for 11th place here, but still, Conti might have a chance to try and close in on Charlie, but I tell you what here, like I said, we've tried everything possible here, but can Conti, who's on that Red Bull car, to give him some wings? Will he have that boost on that Red Bull car? Oh, Charlie's right on, pushing that car.
No, Conti not close enough again. He's 6.5/10 off coming out of the last corner. You have to be within 4/10 of a second to even think about getting the move. We saw that with Billy last lap around. Charlie is going to defend at his might. Conti is probably trying to eye up where he can get the overtake. But remember, these guys have still yet to come into the pit. Mashiro is trying to force his way up the inside of Shumi. Picked up a 3-second time penalty for that. Shumi and now Mashiro on the inside line. This will favour the inside line. The Japanese driver down the inside on 9-lap old mediums pulls it off. The Japanese driver through, Mashiro up to P8, the Papaya team, the McLarens are going absolutely mad. Shumi on the back of him, not going to be close enough. Mashiro seems to have got a second wind out of those tyres.
He's got that extra blow of that wind there, I was going to say. Mace has got 3-second time penalty by multiple warnings. Moments here. Lap 11 of 18 here. Can anyone try and stop Charlie here? Even though those two will be pitted in at some point.
They'll be pitting in this lap or next lap, I think.
I reckon they're going to have to pit now. They're going to pit now. See, they listened to me. They've listened to me on this. So the two drivers, the top two drivers in the pit.
That now puts Hades into the lead of the race, with Key, unbelievably, in second. He's driving so well tonight.
He has. He's done a brilliant job here. He's definitely got the key.
Hang on. With what's unfolded with Pariah and who was it? There's somebody else earlier on. Billy's now in third. I said he might get a top 5. He might get a top 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but like I said, Perez I'm not 100% sure what actually happened there, but hopefully we'll try and find out sooner rather than later. But look at Charlie here, trying to close in on Maximus now. We've got a 3-car battle here behind here. Look at Mays and Conte. Oh my days. We've got a McLaren, Ferrari and Red Bull car to give us some wings. Come on. We might have a 4-car battle here. 9th place here. This is absolutely fantastic up there. James, what have you got?
All of this actually coming into play for Lord Holton maybe as well. 1.4 seconds off. He is on a quicker set of the soft compound of tyres. He's already been... Oh, sorry, he's on a set of medium compound of tyres. That's my eyes going right there. 10-lap old mediums. He will have to pit again. Lord Holton will be out of this race, but Conti right on the back of Mays, Charlie right on the back of Maximus. Take your pick here, because Charlie right on the back of Maximus I think is going to be the closer move down into turn 11. Ooh, a little bit of lag there actually from Maximus.
Yeah, I just saw that there, James. I saw that as well. That it's a bit of a... Yeah, but look at Charlie now. Charlie needs to be
right on the back.
A few tenths here. He needs to be doing that. 4 tenths, as you said.
Yeah, Maximus hasn't got any DRS, so this should be easy pickings now for Charlie, running down the straight. The Brit on the back of his fellow countrymen. He's going to send it very late, a bit too late maybe down the inside. Maximus is trying to defend with this might round the outside. It's side by side between the McLaren and the Mercedes. It's like old school Formula 1. Charlie, Maximus trying to have a go down the inside into turn 2. Thank you for coming. Not good enough. Charlie gets the move done. He's up to P8. Great driving.
Absolutely. Side seal delivered. He's all ears for 8th place here. Absolutely frantic stuff there.
Look at Mashiro right on the back of Max Viking as well.
Yeah, look at Mashiro now, trying to close in Viking now for 4th place here. Can he try, after what happened at the start of the race here, he'll be absolutely fuming here, but he's done a brilliant job here to get into 5th place here. But can he get a podium here tonight, do you reckon, James?
Honestly, no. He's got 11 lap old mediums on Mashiro. Vax Viking has got 7 lap old mediums. I'm surprised actually how Vax Viking's dropping off the pace of Billy. He's dropped 1.4 seconds as Charlie and Passos are getting going, and Conti is up the inside of Maze, down into turn 11. Maze is going to try and repay it back down the inside of the hairpin. Oh, he's gone in, just outbreaking himself completely there, Maze, a little bit. Oh, that's going to be a racing incident, I think, at the end of that. But Charlie, right on the back of Passos, of course, will let the stewards investigate. Mashiro down the inside of Vax Viking. I don't know where to turn. Mashiro down the inside on Vax Viking. He's got the move done, I think. Vax Viking on the outside. Charlie's trying to go past Passos. Maximus is involved in this as well. And Mashiro has got through on Vax Viking to get the move done. And Charlie, rightfully so, rightfully said by you, has got the move done around the outside of turn 2. Fantastic stuff. And Maximus involved in this as well.
Yeah, like I said, James, I don't know how your voice is just not completely gone after all that. It's just absolutely manic stuff there. But look at this, we've got a 3-car bar here between Charlie, Passos and Maximus. It is a maximum time to get past them as much as possible here. Coming up to the chicane part here now, on lap 14 of 18 here. Absolutely brilliant racing here from all the drivers here tonight. Maze will be bound out against Lord Walter in a moment or two, but at the moment here we've got Passos, Maximus and Conti here for 8th, 9th and 10th place. James?
Yeah, a lot going on out on track. Having a look at some of the comments that were coming through. Pariah just picking up a 3-second time penalty. I will come on to the penalties in just a little bit. We'll have to ride on board with the action though. I hope you guys appreciate that. There's a lot going on out on track and we can only have one place at a time. Actually, Malc, will you check the penalties for me and give me an update through, and I'll ride on board with Maximus, who's on the back of Passos, trying to get the move done. Now down into turn 1, the Brit is down the inside here. He should be through. Passos will defend it with every bit of his might, but Maximus is through quite easily. This could open up the door for Conti as well in the back of shot. Passos is side by side with Maximus running down towards turn 2. Maximus though cuts inside from the outside of the corner and pulls off the move. So Maximus up to 8th. Passos 9th, Conti just sitting in behind, waiting for a mistake to happen. Through turn 4 we come. Oh, and look at the speed that Conti goes.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff there. But is there any penalties that you want me to go through?
Top 10, I think.
Top 10. Halled's has definitely got 1 penalty. I'll just double check. Halled's. Yes, he's got a 3-second time penalty.
Sorry, I'm gonna just come in on 1 second because Conti, I think, is gonna go up the inside down into turn 11. Great move by Conti. Fantastic stuff. He picked the right spot to get up the inside of Passos. Opportunistic move. We've got Charlie on the back of Shumi as well. Sorry, we'll get to the penalties in just a minute. Shumi and Charlie right on the back of each other for 6th and 7th out on track. Charlie driving well. He's down the inside. He launches it late, not too late this time. And this time, Shumi has to settle for 2nd best. Charlie making eye-catching way through the field, and he's up into 6th position. Good move.
Brilliant stuff there, absolutely frantic stuff there. I can't believe I missed the Conti move there, absolutely manic stuff there, but I saw the Charlie move, that was a definite brilliant move there as well. Alex definitely had a penalty. Kiki hasn't got a penalty, Billy has, Mashiro has got a penalty. They all got at least 1 penalty each. That was the last thing I checked from the top 4 before I stopped watching the battles going on left, right, centre here, James, because you've done an absolutely brilliant job here tonight. Absolutely frantic stuff there. So
I'll tell you what, I'll run it through and we'll show everyone on the race director how many penalties each driver has got. Penalty for Hades, so he's only got 3 seconds. Kiki hasn't got a penalty, right in saying that. Billy has only got 1 penalty, so he's clearly taken that advice on board from race 1. Mashiro with a penalty as well. Vax Viking with nothing. Charlie with nothing. Shumi with a penalty. Maximus with a warning. Conti with penalty. He's picked that up on this lap. Passos has picked up 2 warnings. Maze has picked up a penalty. Lord Hulton has picked up 2 penalties. Alex has picked up nothing, and Pariah has picked up 2 penalties. And what you're on board with Conti down the inside, that was in the full credit shot. Oh, Maximus and Conti come together, coming through turn 1. very late to the party here, but the Dutchman trying to go around the outside. Oh, he cannot surely pull this off around the outside on the tyres. Conti, Maximus, give way. Oh, Maximus has defended that. How on earth has he defended that? That was brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant stuff there, but Maximus, Conti, come on! You can do it! If you're watching this up there, you will be thinking,
oh, yes! No! Oh, I thought there was going to be contact. How on earth? He shouldn't be going for moves. That really is not close enough to go for. But Conti is frantically trying to get past Maximus.
Charlie's 3/10. Charlie's 3/10 off. Viking down. Good place. This is a brilliant move. This will be a brilliant move here for the McLarens here.
Onto the final lap. Yeah, onto the final lap we go. Hades leads 1.5 seconds to Key. How on earth his back gap came down? Hades must have had a mistake out somewhere out on track.
He must have done, but at the moment here, we're not watching that. I'm just watching Charlie against Viking now. 4 tenths now, as you said earlier. This is a chance now. Come on, Charlie. Come on! Come on! Yes! Yeah! Oh! Come on! Come on! Come on!
Oh, that's Viking coming across, just literally inches apart from him. Charlie could have a go down into turn 2, but I think respectfully he's not going to go for the move. He's not close enough. Conti as well on the back of Maximus, and Lord Hulton on the back of Mays down the inside into turn 2. Can he get the move done in the Alfa Romeo? Mays has held it around the outside. Fair driving between both of them. Honestly, tonight's racing will go down as one of the best in TTSL history. This has been fantastic for me.
Not just the best, it'll be a classic.
Charlie's in the back of Max Viking!
I don't think there was contact.
There was.
I saw. Was
Charlie,
there contact? I didn't see.
Yeah, Charlie caught the back of Max Viking's car there. Just a slight love tap, like in Love Island. But Hades, in the meantime, coming around the final corner. The Norwegian is going to take the win, and I think he takes the championship lead as well. Key across the line, though, with the win. Because of the penalties. Billy across the line in third. He'll go on to that position. Mashiro will be across the line in fourth. Alex and Viking swap positions late on. Charlie is going to be coming across the line in fifth. A good drive from him. Maybe a bit of investigation to come, but nonetheless a really good drive. Maximus has jumped Schumi on penalties. Conti in 8th. Parcells in 9th. Mays in 10th. Lord Hulton in 11th. How on earth was that so close towards the end? Alex is in 11th. Vax Viking 12th. Lord Hulton 13th, Pariah 14th. Let's breathe.
Yes, for you, James, I'll let you breathe for a moment or two there. But like I said, fair play to you, mate. Absolutely fair play to you. Like I said, Atlas and Jeffrey are the only unfortunate who had the DNFs earlier on in the second round. This is the second round of the two-parter of the race this season here as well. But at the Hungarian Grand Prix here, what a drive. I can't believe I missed the first race. I just saw the glimpse of the last bit there, but what a way to come back and do the commentary for the second round here. But like I said, this is absolutely brilliant stuff. Kiki did a brilliant job here to win the race here. I know Halads did cross over the line first, but because of the penalties galore that he had, well, it was the one lot of 3-second time penalties, but it was costing him big time there. And I think, if you're rightly said, James, I think Halads is the new Drivers' Championship leader. Is that correct? I might be correct. We'll have to wait till next week when the points come out. Of course, do follow the league on Twitter at TTSL_F1 if you do want to have a look at the points scoring before we come live next Friday. But it is Key who takes the win. He held the key, he unlocked the door, and he has won here in the Hungaro ring, albeit on penalties. Well, I'm not taking it away from him. Hades in second. Billy, for me, driver of the day in that second race. What a drive from 16th to 3rd. Mashiro finishing in 4th as well. The Japanese driver doing himself proud. Charlie in 5th. Filling out the top 5, Maximus in 6th, Schumi 7th, Conti 8th, Parcells 9th, Mays in 10th, a whole host of Norwegians further down the field with Alex, Vax Viking, Lord Hulton. No points being picked up for Alfa Romeos this week. Pariah across the line in 14th, and as you say, it was Atlas Copo and Jeffrey out of the race, and I think both of them are at turn 4, were they? I think, if I recall. I think that you are right. I think you are right from the turn 4 part there, but like I said, it's been turn 4 to turn 4 death for some of the drivers here tonight, and like I said, it's one of those tracks where you've got to be absolutely careful on, but unfortunately, that's what happened there tonight. But like I say, well done to Kiki, Haled and Wildlow Billy for their top 3 finishes as well. But Mashiro he did well to recover there, James, but I think he would have been fuming that he didn't win the race here tonight.
Yeah, Hades drove such a good race. Obviously, the race split up pretty much since since Mashiro's absolute bottle. I'm gonna say I don't like using the word bottle, but that's what it was through turn 11. So unfortunate for the Japanese driver. He did well to recover to where he did in that second race. A great drive to finish, I think, 5th in the end. Obviously, a real good race, and everyone coming in the comment section just commenting about how good that race was. 20 people watching. Thank you very much for tuning in. To every single one of you who follow TTSL on a Friday night, if we can get that up even further towards the end of the season, if you've been inspired by tonight's racing, well, I can say there is a space available in the Toro Rosso if you do want to join in for TTSL next week. What a race. We're going to have to take a lie down. Malc, you're quite as fresh as a daisy. I think you still want another race, don't you?
I do want like another 2 or 3 after that. That's just an absolutely brilliant race as well. I mean, it's a shame I didn't see the first race in full, but I can't wait for next week. Let's see if we can try and emulate that to make it the second lot of the best ever classic at TTSL as well. But this one, this round of the Hungarian track here, James has said earlier, this will be classed as one of the classic 2-parter races that we will ever see and ever be historical out of the league as well. So yeah, while James is trying to get his breath back and try to recover as much as possible there, so fair play to him on that one.
Course. Well, of course, next week we are at the Tifosi's home track. We're at Monza next week for Italy, round 7.
Ooh, that'll be classic. That'll be so much toes galore there. I'm not on about feet toes, I'm on about the car toes moment there, but with all the slipstreams galore there as well. But like I said, you're going to have to watch out for some of the corners where, like the Lesmo corners and also Ascari. Those are the 2 main corners that you've got to watch out for, as well as turn 1, obviously. But those are the 2 where I've seen people made so much mistakes and hit the walls with a silly bang moment there. But like I say, I'd like to thank everyone that's watched the stream as well. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for all the live races here as well. James, again, absolute legend you are as well, and I know you probably think, thank you.
You would not think that I've got a bit of flu, would you, after that commentary?
No, nope, absolutely not there, absolutely not. But like I said, how do you know in here? And it's like that sniffing motion there. But,
it's honestly my throat more than my nose. So yeah, but anyways.
Oh. But like I said, James, you could have another rest for another week here as well. But like I said, it's a fantastic race here tonight. And thank you to everyone that's watched the stream. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for all the live races here. And this was the TTSL league as well. And what a great race at the Hungarian Grand Prix. I'd like to thank James for everything that he's done. Thank you to everyone that was racing at the TTSL. And we'll see you all next week. And also for the most Malc as well.
Of course, next week as well, we'll be leaving the EU at this stage as well. So what a fitting finale to have a TTSL race when Brexit's happening. Fantastic. I'll get my Brexit puns at the ready for next week. But until then, I of course have been James Said. Thank you very much to Malc once again for joining me in the commentary box. What a phenomenal race that was at Magna Nadadec in Hungary. And until next week, of course, if you don't want the action to stop, we are live tomorrow night for CRC on the channel as well. You can also follow me in League of Europe Division 1 tomorrow night in China from 6:40 on the League of Europe channel as well. But for CRC tomorrow, we are going to be at Algarve, so we're in Portugal. It's going to be terrific racing. Tier 2 at 7:30, Tier 1 at 8:30. I won't be streaming tomorrow night because of my dodgy quality that came through last week, so I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow night. But get prepared. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, tick that notification bell if you do want to see more action here on TTTV, because of course you guys are the founding members. You guys are the viewers. You guys are the ones that tune in every week to see the action out on track. And if you don't want it to stop, then keep supporting us. And until next week, of course, I've been James Head. He has been Malc. Thank you very much for watching here in Hungary. We'll see you next week in Italy. Rule Britannia and all of that. Good evening. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.